Hello and welcome to Nationwide on the NTA. I am Ifoma Ojinta. And we begin with legislative matters. The House of Representatives has expressed disappointment over the red listing of travelers from Nigeria by the United Kingdom effective Monday, 6 December 2021 due to emergence of Omicron variant. During plenary Tuesday, House members, while reacting to the issue, which was raised as a matter of urgent public importance by the minority leader Ndudi Elumelu, suggested diplomatic engagement to address the issue. House members wondered why UK singled out Nigeria and some African countries and imposed travel ban on them due to concerns relating to spread of Omicron variant, but did not apply same measure on other countries in Europe where the variant has been found. Meanwhile, the House has condemned incidences of abuses in some boarding schools and called for investigation into circumstances that led to the death of 12-year-old Sylvester Oromoni of Dowen College, Lagos, and 14-year-old Karen Akpaga of Premier Academy. And President Muhammadu Buhari has transmitted the Finance Bill 2021 to the Senate for consideration. The Finance Bill 2021 seeks to support the implementation of the 2022 budget of economic growth and sustainability by proposing key reforms to specific taxation, customs, excise, fiscal, and other relevant laws. The executive communication further explained that the bill is to enhance domestic revenue mobilization efforts to increase tax and non-tax revenues.
Economic growth and sustainability by proposing key reforms to specific taxation, customs, excise, fiscal, and other relevant laws. Specifically, this bill provides for enhanced domestic revenue mobilization efforts to increase tax and non-tax revenues.
Senate has condemned the inclusion of Nigeria in the COVID-19 red list by the British government and called for its reversal as moved by Senator Ike Ekweremadu. Senate paid tribute to former member of the Senate, Gbenga Aluko, who died on the 20th of November. Main players in the liquefied petroleum gas opened discussions this Tuesday in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, on the future of the industry, digging deeper into the challenges but also the opportunities the industry is facing. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo delivered the keynote and underscores the critical role LPG could play in the transition towards a more sustainable, secure and competitive energy model.
Our target, as I said earlier, is 5 million metric tons, and this requires at least $6 billion for the required LPG infrastructure to meet our targets. From inland and coastal terminals to cylinder filling plants, bobtails, semi-trailers, valves, regulators, I think Nigeria represents a unique LPG investment destination, especially for setting up manufacturing facilities and support services for the expanded LPG value chain and the national LPG expansion implementation plan. All aspects of the LPG value chain will certainly require investments, and we on our part, the federal government of Nigeria, are ready and willing to support investors willing to partner with us.
In the roundtable session, there was an exhibition by manufacturers of LPG equipment. Vice President Osinbajo and the Minister of Energy and Infrastructure, UAE, toured the exhibition ground and interacted with the exhibitors. Nigeria and Algeria are making diplomatic moves that will enhance their bilateral cooperation as the third session of the Algeria-Nigeria political consultation in Algiers. Permanent Secretary of the Nigeria's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Gabriel Aduda, and the Secretary General of the Algiers Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Chakib Rashid, identified key players to explore and improve business relations. Similar meeting was held with the Secretary General of the Algiers Ministry of Energy and Mines, Abdul Karim Al-Si, where the Nigeria's permanent secretary lauded the Algerian government on education cooperation between the two countries and the need to achieve the bilateral air agreements, as well as strengthening security, trade and energy relations. They also make commitments on how to team up on achieving mutual interest at regional and global engagements. Just recently, President Muhammadu Buhari was at 2020 Dubai Expo in the United Arab Emirates to market Nigeria's numerous opportunities as an investment haven for the global community. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria who reviewed this visit say it has opened windows of economic benefits for the country. Ekene Ndulwe reports.
Economists have consistently harped on the need for foreign investments in Nigeria if the country will make economic headway. The drive for the needed investment is what President Buhari is spearheading with travels to several countries, with the most recent being his presentation at the 2020 Dubai Expo. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria say the visit is already yielding positive results as the global business community has resumed talks with Nigeria on various areas of interest.
They wanted to know what the situation was in Nigeria, security situation, the economic situation, and Mr. President was able to respond to them and give them the assurance that whatever investments they make in Nigeria will be absolutely safe, and Nigeria is prepared to assist with making sure that whatever investments they make will also yield dividends for them as well.
After the president left, I didn't think I have a good 3 hours of sleep up till today. I have been meeting with different investors, different groups that are interested. To my surprise, some of the groups are not even from the Middle East, from Europe, China. Everybody is coming in tons, and we've been having meetings.
For the guests, the 2020 Dubai Expo was also an opportunity for the president to tell the true Nigerian story and dissuade negative impressions that may hinder economic interests.
He has spoken about infrastructure. He has spoken about the right policies that will aid investment. He has spoken about the ease of doing business. He has spoken about the human potentials in Nigeria, about the market of 200 million people. So all these investment trips are opportunities to tell the Nigerian story properly.
Like the journey of 1,000 miles that starts with a step, the guests believe that the infrastructural revolution started by President Buhari will restore Nigeria to its pride of place among Committee of Nations. Ekene Ndulwe, NTA News.
The National Union of Electricity Employees has suspended its strike, which disrupted power supply in the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company AEDC franchise areas. The suspension followed the intervention of the federal government with the firm arrangement to ensure the payment of the outstanding entitlements of AEDC staff within 21 days. At the end of the meeting between Minister of State for Power, Godi Jediagba, the leadership of the union, the Bureau of Public Enterprise and the Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission, a memorandum of understanding was signed between the parties concerned. Staff of AEDC are demanding payment of all outstanding entitlements, which led to the industrial action that disrupted power supply in Abuja, Nasarawa, Kogi, Niger, parts of Edo and Kaduna states. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the suspension of the management of Abuja Electricity Distribution Company AEDC and a new interim governing board appointed to oversee the day-to-day operations of the Electricity Distribution Company following the recent industrial action embarked on it by its staff over non-payment of arrears, pensions, allowances, salaries and promotion. The sack of the management team conveyed by the presidency to the Federal Ministry of Power takes immediate effect. The Minister of Power, Aliyu Abubakar, and the Minister of State, Power, Godi Jediagba, had earlier on intervened through dialogue with the Ministry of Labour, Bureau of Public Enterprise and the Nigerian Union of Electricity Employees to resolve and call off the 14-hour strike action by the Minister of State's Power, Godi Jediagba, the Chairman, Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission, Sanusi Garba, Director General, Bureau of Public Enterprises, Alex Okoli, Comrade Joe Ajero, on behalf of government, has described the non-performance and incompetence of the AEDC as a national embarrassment, saying the suspension of the management team subsists till further notice. A draft budget of 393,612,400 units of accounts have been presented to Parliament for consideration by the ECOWAS Commission. The proposal, which is balanced in income and expenditure, has zero increase from 2021 except the health sector to address COVID-19. Onange Fineface reports.
Community levy is the major source of funding for the 2022 budget and represents forecasted receipts based on 2021 deposits by member states, as well as expected regional economic growth and inflation.
This draft budget shall provide the necessary financial resources that will enable institutions deliver on their mandates.
ECOWAS institutions, including the ECOWAS Commission and Office of the Auditor General, are to receive more than 300 million units of accounts, while statutory obligations, special interventions and peace and security programs account for the remainder of the total expenditure.
The community has therefore rationalized and prioritized its programs and administrative expenses for financial year 2022, and the draft budget represents work programs that have been designed to reflect such conditions.
The consideration of the community budget is very important, rightly so. We have to mark our meetings with a seal of rigor and work as seriously as our oath imposes.
The budget proposal is in line with provisions of Article 5 of the ECOWAS Financial Regulations. Onengiye Fineface, NTA News.
Let's now join our Lagos Network Center, and Kende will be our guide. Over to you, Kende.
Hello, Ifoma, and we're glad you joined us here in Lagos. Nigeria is expected to begin administration of COVID-19 booster doses from the 10th of December. This move is in line with the global fight against the virus. Ingenu John Adams examines the effect of the decision as the country continues to battle the raging force of the pandemic.
Typical of viruses, COVID-19 is still transforming into more ambitious variants. Records by the World Health Organization reveal that it is infecting and killing millions of people globally. Omicron, the latest, has been declared a variant of concern, and this has put countries on their toes.
At the moment, most of the concern around Omicron has been the potential it has in terms of the amount of mutations it has gathered and what theoretically it can do. It has gathered over 50 new mutations that were not seen in the Delta, which has conferred the ease of transmission.
The federal government recently approved booster doses for those that have completed 2 doses of AstraZeneca, Moderna, Pfizer-BioNTech, or 1 dose of Johnson & Johnson. What does this mean to Nigeria's fight against the pandemic?
It will help the system, as we are seeing now that even the 2 doses is showing some significant impact by improving, or reducing death and severity of sickness and things.
It helps to improve the protection offered by these vaccines, and it as well gives a long-term protection from getting seriously ill from COVID-19.
Eligibility criteria for the booster dose include any person of 18 years and above, time interval of 6 months and above after receiving AstraZeneca, Moderna, and Pfizer-BioNTech. For Johnson & Johnson, 2 months or more is the window period. In Lagos, Ingenu John Adams, NTA News.
Lagos State Government is empowering youth with requisite skills and information to drive its community-based advocacy on gender-based violence across the 5 divisions in the state. This was evident at a one-day youth capacity building program organized by the Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation in Lagos. Musa Toliat has details.
We as men are the ones that can go out there and really change the narrative. Although women are empowered to speak up, we are the ones that at the end of the day are going to make the big change.
Gender-based violence champions made out of the one-day capacity building have their plans and focus cut out to ensure they make meaningful impact in their immediate communities.
Women suffer violence mostly from the men because they see us as a weak gender. So be able to go to our community and able to stop unlawful acts.
The one-day capacity building on gender-based violence is a new approach adopted by the Lagos State government to leverage on the innovative minds of the youths to combat the menace of violence against women and girls in the state.
These days, people are ready to fight that menace. People are ready to speak up. People are ready to speak out. And people are ready to fight. So we encourage them to speak up. We encourage them to fight. And that's the only way stigmatization can be
available to victims of gender-based violence.
The obligation for government is to protect and also enhance rights that belongs to the citizen. And in Lagos State, one of those laws is the Protection from Domestic Violence Law.
The one-day capacity building is part of activities lined up by the Lagos State government to mark the 16 days of activism on gender-based violence in the state. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
You're still watching Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. We'll take a short break now. The news continues shortly with Ifoma in Abuja.
You an entrepreneur? Do you operate small businesses, sell, promote, or market product or equipment, rent, hire, produce, offer services in music, food, fashion, film, photography, painting, sculpture, play, drama, comedy, travel, and hospitality sector? Enjoy Nigeria Expo 2021 is here for you to showcase your product, services, and skills. Learn how to grow your business, connect with customers, network with frontline entrepreneurs in your sector across Nigeria. Enjoy Nigeria Expo is holding from December 6 to 12, 2021. At the Abuja International Trade and Convention Center, Kilometer 8, Umoriyar Adwa Expressway, Airport Road, Abuja. For inquiry, call 009-114-3424, 009-643-0859. Enjoy Nigeria Expo 2021 is brought to you by Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, Federal Ministry of Information and Culture. Welcome to Nigeria Project and Abuja Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Enjoy Nigeria, future assured through cultural creativity.
National politics and youth inclusion, issues and development. That's our focus on NTA Tuesday Live this week. Tuesday Live, incisive and educative. Join us at 10:30 p.m.
Nigerian youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth entrepreneurship support, yes, by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths.
Femi Martins, just look at this. Remember the name.
African Cup of Nations starts on the 9th of January 2022 on NTA, powered by AfroSport. For sponsorship and advertisements, contact us on 090-9890-6913 or 090-3513-2838.
Thanks for staying tuned. The Nigeria Law Reform Commission has engaged stakeholders to look into laws on the offence of rape and other related sexual offences under the Criminal Code Act. Omenka Marachuku has the report.
Issues of rape and other related sexual offences has been on the increase since the advent of COVID-19. In order to address reforms of the laws on the offence of rape and other related sexual issues, informed this gathering.
So we're going to submit our report to government and reform the penal code, the criminal codes, which had been there before since the colonial masters.
I wish to appreciate the efforts and determination of the Nigerian Law Reform Commission in achieving its mandate through the delivery of quality law reform to the nation.
The stakeholders is expected to make recommendations of their input for effective implementation of laws on rape and other related sexual offences to the Commission. In Abuja, Omenka Marachuku, NTA News.
Jos is next on our lineup and Zinret is our guide. Hello, Zinret. Our guide. Hello, Zinret.
And thanks for joining us in Jos. Some of the violence experienced by women and girls are rape, forced early marriage, physical and sexual assault, and harmful widowhood practices. This necessitated the commemoration of the 16 days of activism, calling for an end to all forms of violence against women. Ejoma Zemina covered a road walk to mark the days.
Violence against women and girls is a human rights violation with devastating consequences. In view of this, these corporate bodies, NAWAJ, Human Rights Commission, Nigeria Bar Association, and FIDA, alongside students of various schools, had a road walk to sensitize the public on their rights. Representative of the wife of the state governor says violence negatively affects the well-being of women as it prevents them from attaining their full potential in the society.
As a mother, she must tell you that she's the one that feels the pains more as a mother because all the children are her children, especially the girl child.
By the time we're celebrating 31, 32, we'll be talking about reduced figures. Because as I stand here, at the National Human Rights Commission alone, this year alone, we have over 300 complaints, bordering on violation of women. I think this is too much, too high a figure for only Plateau State. People try to keep away from telling the world what is happening to them. We are going to be channels that will bring out the evil that is happening in society.
It's a fight that we must do, and the right time is now.
Participants emphasized the need to sustain advocacy in Jos, Ijoma, or Zemina, NTA News.
Ahead of the 2022 head count, the National Population Commission is running a pre-test in some selected local government areas of Plateau State. This came to the fore in Jos at a press briefing as part of activities for a successful exercise. Rodkang Dimka has details.
The Commission projects that a successful pre-test will help the process of planning and strategizing as it gives opportunity to evaluate and, where necessary, realign the steps or processes for execution of the census exercise.
I wish to make an appeal to members of the public, particularly those in the affected enumeration areas, to give our personnel the maximum cooperation and support for a hitch-free and complete enumeration exercise to be carried out in their communities.
Jos North, Kanam, Kanke, and Riom local government areas have been selected in Plateau State for the pre-test exercise of the National Population Commission in view of the 2022 population and housing census.
This second phase of the pre-test will be conducted between December 3rd and 10th 2021. A team consisting of a state coordinator, 4 supervisors, 24 enumerators have been trained and are to be deployed to the 4 LGAs to carry out the task.
Key players therefore appealed to the public to cooperate by giving access to buildings and housing units, answering questions truthfully, and ensuring adequate safety of enumerators and their equipment during the pre-test exercise. In Jos, Rotkan Dimka, NTA News.
And that's our contribution to Nationwide. Ifoma, it's back to you.
Thank you very much, Zinret. President Muhammadu Buhari has described as worrisome and alarming the pace at which the future of Africans is threatened by the rising non-communicable disease burden, inadequate medical infrastructure, and brain drain experienced by the continent. Speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony of the African Medical Center of Excellence, Abuja, aimed at propelling the nation's capital into a hub for medical services, the president said, "No nation prospers without a healthy population." State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
An estimated $300 million is to be expended on the 500-bed Medical Center of Excellence funded by the African Export-Import Bank in partnership with the Nigerian government as well as the King's College Hospital, London. Conceived to promote intra-African medical tourism, the project is seen as one step further towards achieving self-reliance for Africa's healthcare delivery.
Today represents more than just the groundbreaking ceremony for a landmark hospital project that will significantly transform the healthcare sector in West Africa. Today also demonstrates the commitment of the Nigerian government and Afrexim Bank to the well-being of the African people and the recognition that the wealth of a nation rests squarely on the health of its population.
President Buhari described the Abuja Medical Center of Excellence as a fitting response to the prevailing situation where many hospitals in West Africa are underfunded, under-equipped, and relatively inaccessible to most patients, especially from the rural areas.
The Africa Medical Center of Excellence represents a return to fundamentals and the understanding that there is no African development agenda without able-bodied Africans to execute on our vision of transformation. The success of the African Medical Center of Excellence will pave the way for future investments and partnerships in the sector while raising the local standard of healthcare and providing a blueprint for quality of services required to address Nigeria's and Africa's healthcare and economic challenges.
The president thanked Afrexim Bank and partners for their unfailing commitment to Africa and the action-oriented approach to resolving the challenges that the continent faces on the path to development. The president and chairman board of directors of Afrexim Bank, Professor Benedict Orama, described as unacceptable that more than 300,000 Africans travel to Asia alone annually for medical tourism, spending over $5 billion, and Nigeria in particular accounting for $1 billion of that expenditure.
We must find ways to stop this. As we push ahead for a better continent, we must also make a concerted effort to take control of our healthcare needs. We must promote investments that enable us to deal with today's health challenges and prepare us to confront those of the future. The modernization of our healthcare systems is a continental emergency.
Our ambition and plans are to create a network of medical centers of clinical excellence throughout Africa and link these through advanced digital technologies so that the whole of the continent benefits from the extraordinary facilities and knowledge base that will be available. Our particular aim is to create a hub for molecular diagnostics that not only serves the local needs, but also the country's needs, as well as the needs of sub-Saharan Africa.
The groundbreaking ceremony was performed on behalf of the President by the Minister of Health, Dr. Osage Ihanere, supported by the Minister of the FCT, Muhammad Musa Bello. In Abuja, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
The Senate Committee on Health has called for the suspension of the 6-month mandatory attachment program for medical students trained abroad. At an engagement with the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, the committee insists on adequate justification for the program. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports.
Senate Committee on Health has engaged the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria on the 6-month mandatory attachment program and fees charged foreign-trained doctors. The committee urged the Medical Council to blacklist any foreign medical school abroad that did not meet its accreditation criteria instead of subjecting the students to hardship when they return.
Be able to eliminate what is seen by many of the participating students and their parents and guardians as a kind of frustration or a sense of something being blocked.
By the time the 6 months is over, they will set up a mock exam and assess the candidates.
The committee insisted that the council must provide justification for why it is mandatory and why they are restricting the location for the exams.
You cannot make it mandatory. Make it optional because some of the students will pass.
The Medical and Dental Council had informed the committee that some Nigerians who studied medicine in Eastern Europe are not doing well. The Clean Nigeria Agency bill has been subjected to public hearing. The bill, sponsored by Senator Clifford Odia, has passed second reading.
Nigeria is the leading nation in the world with the highest number of people practicing open defecation.
We already have similar agencies existing in the various states, and even if we are going to set up an agency, a similar body at the state level, there are going to be clashes.
The Ministry of Finance, Society for Water and Sanitation, and the organized private sector on water, sanitation and hygiene, and all other agencies invited concord on the need to eradicate open defecation in Nigeria, but differ on the creation of a new agency, describing it as a duplication of roles.
Apart from this duplicity of agencies, we're burdened with the excessive cost of governance right now.
So we, as a Ministry of Environment, we have what it takes to handle sanitation in Nigeria, and we've been doing that.
Where we are, isn't it shameful? I mean, isn't it? A country like Nigeria is the highest practicing this open defecation and urination.
From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
The Supreme Court has granted the application of Uche Secondus to serve all the 11 respondents in the matter challenging his suspension through substituted means. The APS Court's 5-man panel of justices, led by Justice Musa Datijo Mohammed, gave the order in Abuja. Dele Atumbi reports.
In the appeal, Uche Secondus is challenging his suspension from the People's Democratic Party in the matter that has 11 respondents. At the hearing of the appeal, which was earlier stalled on Monday, 6 December 2021, counsel to Uche Secondus Oba Madu Abuchi, SAN, moved the motion ex parte for substituted service of all the originating processes in the matter on all the respondents. This is due to the fact that the 8th respondent has not been personally served, while the other 10 respondents had been served. It is in the light of this that the Supreme Court granted the ex parte motion for substituted service to all the respondents through the headquarters of the PDP in Abuja. The processes had to be pasted on the notice board of the PDP.
The Supreme Court about a month ago had said if you don't serve notice of appeal personally, then everything you've done is wrong. So ex abundante cautela, we have to act out of the abundance of caution. And then we brought an application ex parte today to serve everybody from beginning to end so that we don't get the question of service or non-service when we get into the teeth and meat of the appeal.
Discovered that the appellants did not do the needful, thereby putting the cart before the horse. They didn't serve the originating processes of this appeal, the notice of appeal and the records of appeal personally on the respondents as required by Order 2 of the rules of the Supreme Court.
Uche Secondus is challenging the judgments of both the Court of Appeal, Port Harcourt Division, and the High Court of Rivers State, which upheld his suspension from the PDP by his ward. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
Larry is standing by in Ibadan with more on Nationwide. Hello, Larry.
To see you, Ifoma, and welcome to Ibadan. Economic importance of agriculture to the growth and development of the nation cannot be overemphasized. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde stated this in Iseyin during the sword-turning ceremony for the newly established Faculty of Agriculture and Natural Sciences of the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Ogbomoso. Ayomiku Ajibola has the details.
After giving approval for the relocation and establishment of the College of Agriculture and Renewable Natural Resources of the Ladoke Akintola University, LAUTECH, to Iseyin in January this year, shortly after the National Universities Commission, NUC, ceded the institution to Oyo State in November 2020. Governor Seyi Makinde performed the sword turning of the faculty at Iseyin town. His government, Governor Seyi Makinde said, has already released the sum of 500 million naira as grants to the new faculty to ensure a smooth takeoff, noting that an additional grant of about 200 million naira is coming from the federal government.
No doubt, more people are interested in coming to LAUTECH because of our positioning of the institution.
Some individuals in the same community have pledged donations of 750 capacity auditorium each to the college.
The 38-kilometer Oyo-Iseyin Road, the 46-kilometer Shaki Ogboro Igboho Road, and the recently awarded 76.7-kilometer Iseyin Fapote Ogbomoso Road will be completed in record time to ensure smooth commute between the new faculty in Iseyin and the LAUTECH main campus in Ogbomoso. Ayomiku Ajibola, NTA News.
The federal government has been commended for its response through relevant agencies to issues of climate change. The United Nations Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed gave the commendation during a visit to Forestry Research Institute of Nigeria, FRIN, Ibadan. Kemi Oshi has the report.
While acknowledging climate change as a common concern for humanity in view of its global devastating effects, Amina Mohammed said the climate action and protection of the natural environment should be a collective effort. The United Nations Deputy Scribe commended the comments of President Muhammadu Buhari at the recent COP26 Glasgow conference, as well as scientific breakthroughs in research developments aimed at increasing forest cover across the country in response to climate change with a view for better collaborations.
Encourage our governments, how we can encourage local government chairmen, but how we can also encourage the private sector so that really the forest cover becomes that can help us to maintain the planet and not lose it to massive emissions, losses, and biodiversity and pollution.
She has gone around and she's satisfied with where we were, plus what she asked us to be doing, and what has come out of where we were and what we have done.
The benefit of tree planting was, however, reinforced as the Deputy Secretary General and other dignitaries inspected trees planted during her tenure as Nigeria's Minister of Environment. In Ibadan, Kemi Oshi, NTA News.
You're still watching Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. More reports after this break. Stay with us.
Has succeeded a great deal in sensitization during the pandemic, and we have found the community mobilization officers most effective in the sensitization and in the advocacy campaigns, creating awareness on the coronavirus pandemic. We have done this through the production of jingles, which were very widely distributed in different languages, in English, in Hausa, in Yoruba, in Igbo, in Tiv, in Igala, in Kanuri, in Fulfulde, in Ijo, in Isoko, in Bini. In talk of any other language you can think of, we had translated sensitization messages.
Dialogue, empathy, love, and unity. These are vital components of nation building.
For all to be well, we appeal that we should refrain from volatile, provocative, inciting messages and language.
Let's build and not destroy.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you. In your living room, office, and everywhere, anywhere. We provide a company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview channel 264, or live streaming via www.visiontv.co.uk. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
The federal government says it is willing to support young people with creative ideas to produce goods and services towards minimizing imports and promoting economic growth in the country. This was the position of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, speaking through the Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, at the Innovation Fellowship for Aspiring Inventors and Researchers I-Fair in Abuja. Musa Abubakar reports.
35-year-old Michael Adekunle is one of many people using prosthetic limb after losing his right leg in an auto crash 9 years ago. Now he's working on a locally produced, compatible and affordable prosthetic device to help accident victims like him with the support of I-Fair initiative.
So it's an alternative modification of device to improve the locomotion or movement of post-surgical patients to ensure effective rehabilitation.
Michael is among inventors and innovators here at the I-Fair 2, an initiative of the Embassy of State of Israel, Office of the Vice President of Nigeria, and Innovate Hub. This is to advance innovation and entrepreneurship in Nigeria.
Young people come together who are creative, who are determined, who are prepared to work, who want to change the world, who have dreams, we must support you. So we want to assure you that the government of President Muhammadu Buhari will give you every support.
In the 21st century, knowledge dictates and defines economies. Knowledge economy, it is called. We cannot be different.
The ecosystem of innovation in Nigeria is already stable and existing. What we need is to nurture it and let it grow and assist it in any way we can. I-Fair 2 is scaling up everything we've done last year. Last year we had 21 graduate fellows. This year 58 new fellows are starting the program.
For Michael and other participants, the initiative provides access to an ultra-modern fabrication and innovation hub where they will develop their prototypes and make their contribution to societal growth. In Abuja, I am Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
The Nigerian Society of Engineers has resolved to take up the professional challenge to make life better for Nigerians through the provision of information communication technology and skills acquisition for rural dwellers to address poverty among the people. David Ire reports that the resolution came up at the 6th College of Fellows Roundtable Symposium of the organization.
The gap between the rich and the poor has been a challenge for government at all levels. While urban dwellers are taking advantage of modern technologies to maneuver and live a better life, those in rural communities can only but hope for better days to come. This College of Fellows Roundtable Symposium is therefore adopting partnership with relevant government bodies to tackle headlong ICT infrastructure deficit and organize vocational training program to boost rural development.
Government is about the populace, and engineers and engineering is about the populace. Our society is for the well-being of the common man. That's what our society is. And that's why we have to raise the level of advocacy for everybody to understand.
Government, on its part, is not relenting in setting pathways to make rural dwellers feel a sense of belonging.
There is this infrastructure project, a very ambitious project that the NCC is driving, that will see deployment of infrastructure in all the 774 local government areas of the country. We call it the InfraCo project. Okay, licenses have been given to entities for the purpose of deployment of infrastructure under strict supervision of the Nigerian Communications Commission.
Outstanding members of the Nigerian Society of Engineers got their due honor at the symposium. In Abuja, David Ire, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari warmly felicitates with the Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, on his 70th birthday, joining members and friends to celebrate with the devoted public servant. In a statement by his special advisor, Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, the president congratulates the minister on the milestone heralded by many years of diligent service to the country, working as a lawyer and businessman before getting into politics, where he served as Chief of Staff in Lagos State and National Publicity Secretary of the All Progressives Congress, APC. President Buhari notes the contributions of the minister in raising a formidable information machinery that went a long way in bringing change in the country, and commends his ingenuity, resilience, and emotional intelligence. He joins members of Federal Executive Council, All Progressives Congress, and the media industry in wishing the Minister of Information good health, strength, and longer life. We have Mohammed in Maiduguri with trending stories from that zone. Hello, Mohammed.
That's true, Ifoma. It's nice to see you. Let's begin with issues concerning security. Borno State government says more vehicles for the State Police Command will be procured to enhance its operations. Governor Babagana Umar Zulum announced this when he inspected 16 vehicles repaired by the police with the support of the Borno State government. Mohammed Goni completes the story.
As part of efforts to equip security outposts to secure communities, the state government released funds to the state command of the police to repair 10 vehicles, but the police commissioner, Abdu Umar, used funds given to repair 16 vehicles, which were presented to the administration of Governor Zulum.
With what I have seen on ground, we need to encourage him and do everything possible to ensure that new vehicles are being procured and provided to the Nigerian police force.
The issue is whenever there's funds, you can be able to maintain whatever you have, equipment and logistics. But in the event you don't have, you need to be resourceful.
Other security agencies are benefiting under the banner of the Anti-Social Vices Task Force. The Anti-Social Vices Task Force comprised of the police, the civil defense, the DSS, the correctional center. So all the vehicles that are hitherto operating under that banner have benefited from this gesture.
Meanwhile, State Police Commissioner Abdu Umar also presented a number of children from Maiduguri and elsewhere found roaming the streets of Maiduguri at different times, which he attributed to negligence on the part of parents. Governor Zulum, who described the situation as disturbing, considering the security challenges in the state, said those from Chad and Niger Republic will be taken back home. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Borno State Police Command says operating through tactical and robust modus operandi is sacrosanct towards ensuring a crime-free society. The Commissioner of Police, Abdu Umar, made this statement while parading 52 persons suspected to have committed various criminal offenses. Here are more details of the story. These are among the 52 suspected criminals confessing how they carried out various crimes ranging from rape, theft, and unlawful possession of dangerous weapons, speaking on the means to live peacefully.
Since my inception as the Commissioner of Police, we have been trying our best to ensure safety of lives and property. We are not going to wait until when they come. We are going after them to ensure that we arrest them and prosecute them. Ours is just like that.
He condemned the recent crisis between farmers and herders in a settlement in Borno and assured of the command's determination to prevent recurrence. CP Abdu Umar also called on other hidden criminals to repent and join relevant authorities in rebuilding Borno. We're done with our contributions on Nationwide from Maiduguri. It's now time to return to Ifoma in Abu reports for us. Good evening.
Many thanks, Mohammed. It's a new dawn on the war against illicit drug trafficking in Nigeria as a new national master plan has been launched on drug control by the National Drug will be active from 2021 to 2025.
In 2018, a survey was conducted by the NDLEA showing how 14.3 million Nigerians between the ages of 15 and 64 abuse drugs, and about 10.6 million of them consume cannabis, making Nigeria the country with the highest number of people addicted to drug. Such a disturbing record necessitated the launch of this fourth National Drug Control Master Plan.
My singular honor to formally launch
that is expected to stem the rising tide of this social evil.
This fourth edition of the NDCMP, which rests on 4 strategic pillars of supply reduction, drug demand reduction, access to controlled medicines for medical and scientific purposes, governance and coordinations, addresses the drug issues from a human rights and gender perspective in a balanced and comprehensive manner.
Bulletin on narcotics, which sponsored specific studies by Nigerian experts into issues such as, for example, drug use amongst people, gave us an incredible wealth of information that was able to inform this drug control master plan in a completely different way than its predecessors.
In Abuja, Abdul Malik Hassan, NTA News.
Let's now join Gift George on sports updates.
In basketball, Nigeria's D Tigresses has moved one step up to be rated number 15 in the world. Results from the 2021 FIBA Women's Amen Cup and FIBA Women's Eurobasket were already part of last World Rankings publication after Tokyo Olympics. The most recent rankings include FIBA Women's 2021 Afrobasket and FIBA Women's 2021 Asia Cup. Nigeria moved up after winning the 2021 Afrobasket title in Cameroon. In football, the 6th edition of the All-Stars Football Tournament has held in Lagos, with the parade of Nigerian entertainers converging on campus playing ground to bond and display their football artistry to the admiration of spectators who appeared in the jerseys of European football clubs. At the end, Chelsea defeated Manchester United on penalties.
Actors, directors, producers, all gather here just to have fun. I think that's the aim.
In the UEFA Champions League, Tuesday fixture shows that Leipzig welcomes Manchester City, Paris Saint-Germain hosts Club Brugge, Ajax takes on Sporting, Porto faces Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid tackles Inter Milan, AC Milan squares up against Liverpool, while Dortmund plays host to Besiktas. To rugby, Racing Rugby Club defended its title at the 9th edition of the Sandy Beach Rugby Championship, which held at Takwa Bay, Lagos. The one-day rugby championship focused on promoting beach rugby as a tourist attraction and also to develop a national team for the future.
From here, we're looking to get international teams from South Africa, from Ghana, and make it an international tournament representing Nigeria all over the world.
On the final note, young amateur boxers in Lagos got the opportunity to learn from the professionals at the Black Empire Boxing Night, which held at the Teslim Balogun Stadium, Lagos.
So it's good for them to tap into their opportunity and excel and market themselves.
10 amateur bouts and 2 professional bouts featured at the championship aimed at creating a platform for the young boxers to thrive in their careers. With sports updates, Gift George, NTA News.
And that's Nationwide for today. We thank you so much for watching. Do remember, join the NTA campaign against rape and rapists. Bye for now.
Information is power. Everyone wants power. So feel powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the U-Report link. And be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google Play Store and you're good to go. NTA News mobile app, your access to real-time.
Welcome to the world's first football scouting reality show, Football Dreams. We kicked off an extensive scouting selection for football talents in 2019, and together with our African Football Network, we've evaluated over 3,000 players from 13 countries. They all share the same dream, that one day they will become a professional football player. Only 28 players made it to fight for a contract with a professional European team in the grand finale of Football Dreams 2021 in Benin. Our main host and former professional footballer, England national player, and FA Cup winner John Fashanu will guide us through the show and push the players through extremely hard and challenging tests. Halfway to the final, 14 of the 28 players will be eliminated, but only one player will win the professional contract.
We want to talk about rights, there are obligations. I'm not saying that this government is a saint, it's very far from it. But there are things that we can do to make it better, and that's the challenge I'm throwing to you. You don't want to build this nation? I don't know where else you want to go. If I had a choice, I'll come back. When I stand outside and I hear what you have to say about this country that I know that I can die for as one, then I'm really sad because you're young. You have education. You have tools. You have a huge future ahead of you. And you're condemning yourself before you started on that journey. So please don't do that. Please don't.
This is the network service of the NTA.